Sheridan here. Welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show all about your dreams and their meanings. If you want your dream done on the show, send it to me at radioshow@dream-analysis.com, or you can phone the station now on 425-373-5527. That's 425-373-5527. You can find all these details and more, including archives of previous shows, on my website at dream-analysis.com/kknw. We're 5 months on the air now, and because of that, I can see a progression in some of your dreams. I'm pleased to say that some of you have acted on your dreams, and that the huge benefit to doing that is already part of your reality now and also showing up in your dreams. Sometimes acting on their advice is easy, other times it requires some effort. You'll often hear me suggesting cutting the ties that bind. Again, some of you have done that. That's a therapy that I suggest because it's one you can do on your own. I mean, any therapy really works, like counselling or any other qualified therapy. But this is one you can do on your own because your dreams already tell you what you need to work on. And when your dreams tell you what you need to work on, it is something you can do. It's not ever a hurdle you can't climb. So you can be carrying the negative effects of some trauma for many years, and it just takes about 6 weeks with cutting the ties to eliminate those negative effects. And it really opens your life up, and it opens up your spiritual abilities, which is one of the huge benefits of doing that therapy. So you'll always hear me talking about it. And we have dreams from 2 listeners this week that show the benefit of doing that therapy, the benefits that they've received. Next week, I will have Susan Pullen in studio. She's an expert dream analyst and a close friend. She's agreed to come on and allow me to put a spotlight on her dreams and her, with the intention of showing how listening to your dreams can change your life. So that's next week, April 28th. I'm really looking forward to that. I also always forget to say things at the end, so I'll say it now. I'll be at the Boeing Employee Parapsychology Club Expo in Kent on July 25th. You can get details about that on bepcweb.org. I also will have a class on teaching you how to interpret your dreams on May 30th or 31st. It may move to June 6th or 7th. The cost for that is $350. And again, you'll find details for that on my website, or you can email me or phone me for details. The number is 206-708-7254. That's way too much information for you to remember. So all of this will be on my website shortly after the show, dream-analysis.com. So straight away to one of the dreams where somebody has been cutting the ties. And there's always reasons. This person was cutting the ties with her mom because she's a mom herself now. And she didn't want to be raising her kids the way she felt she was raised, that she didn't like. And I mean, I imagine a lot of people can relate to that. But we know that we copy the traits of our parents, at least to some degree, or we can go the opposite way of copying the traits. And not all traits are bad, by the way. But so I'm talking about copying negative traits. So we can still be affected even though we think we're not affected, because we go to the other extreme to get away from the effects of our parents. So it still shows us being affected. So your dreams are always encouraging you to be yourself. Find yourself. That's what life is about. And this dream then, very, very short. She says, I noticed my teeth were falling out. When I inspected them, I saw that they were huge teeth. For some reason, they reminded me of what dinosaur teeth look like. I was getting worried when I realized all my teeth were falling out, so I decided to look in the mirror. Then I discovered I had new teeth coming in. I took note of the new teeth and saw that they were very clean and white. I was no longer worried and was thankful to have brighter, whiter teeth, even if I had to wait a little while for them all to come in. Now, she says she looked at the mirror in the bathroom. I skipped over because some of the writing here was kind of cryptic. So, teeth falling out is such a common theme in dreams. One of the very, very common ones. And it's always about child rearing. Animals carry around their young with their teeth. If they lose their teeth, they lose their ability to care for and raise their young. We often forget that we're animals in the animal world, but the analogy works for us. Losing your teeth is indicative of, among other things, of stressing about raising your kids, wondering if you've got the ability, if you have what it takes, or it can also indicate physical problems, but this dream doesn't do that. So she's nearly finished cutting the ties with her mom. She is about 7 days to go at this stage. So this is really good. So she's losing the dinosaur teeth. She checks them in the bathroom. The mirror is also tells us it's about reproduction. A mirror is a reproductive device. So we definitely know that's what the teeth represent in this dream. So she sees she's losing these dinosaur teeth in the bathroom. So this is something she's trying to eliminate, this real old-fashioned way, what she sees as old, of raising kids. And we see the new teeth are coming in. She says they're about 1/3 the way in, and they're brighter and whiter. So this is her new ability to raise kids that's coming in. She has 2 kids of her own, and that's really going to be fantastic for her. And she's happy that it's going to take her a little while to do this transition. Of course it will. Not too long, of course, just a matter of weeks. But she's happy for it, and it's a really good sign. So that's always good to see in a dream, see the progress, because we let our guards down when we dream. Our dreams tell us things exactly how they are, not how we want to dress them up, how we might tell our friends how we're succeeding in doing something we're doing, or we might overplay how dramatically we're affected by something negative in our lives. Our dreams just say it exactly as it is. So we get from our dreams the honest truth, and this honest truth is this dreamer has succeeded in doing exactly what she wanted to do, which is not pass on to her kids the negative effects of the way she was raised. Okay, so next dream I received just 2 hours ago, so it's always good to send your dreams in. You never know when I'm going to pick them up. So she just got it now, and she says, over the years I've learned so much from you and your site. Because of that understanding, I've been able to help family, friends, and myself to understand ourselves a bit. Oh, thank you very much for that. So let's skip forward to the dream. I thought that was the dream. I'm walking along a beach, early morning. To my right is the ocean, a gentle surf to my left, and standing in a line along the surf on the sand are statues on pedestals. So the beach tells us straight away it's about her spiritual approach. Early morning is really good in a dream when it's about your spirituality, because that says you're waking up. That's the time when we wake up. So the dream is about you waking up. And we always want to see that in a dream. It's really good. The statues are the ancient kind with patina, old, not scary, actually very beautiful. I walk along feeling very tranquil. Okay, so these statues that are all in the row represent your past lives. So they're a record of your past lives when you came ashore. I mean, they're all in the surf on the beach. So it's when you've come to the earth plane in the past. Then it seems I'm awake. So she thinks she wakes up in the dream, but she's still dreaming. And that's another really good thing to see in a dream. And we've had that in the show before. And I think I have another one later on as well with this. So it shows awareness dawning on you. So even the facade of a dream is being pulled away from your eyes. And ultimately, when you keep going, the facade of reality is pulled away from your eyes and you see life for what it is. It's all about you learning about yourself with a view to improving yourself and restoring your former awareness. So then it seems I'm awake and I'm standing on a bluff over the beach. So up on a bluff tells us you're still in the spirit world, which is where the dreams take place. I'm saying to someone, I can't see. That's okay, because you're still in a dream. So you don't know what you're trying to find something. You're trying to find this record of your past lives, but you can't see it just yet. I have to remember that dream. It's full of symbols, I say. The unseen person tells me, look it up, hurry before you forget. Now, an unseen person in a dream is your guide, so they're telling you to remember, which is really good. I mean, they're always going to do that. There is a house on the bluff now with stairs. I can see at the top of the stairs, and again, the top of the stairs is the spirit world here. There is a porch and impossibly tall windows, and the tall windows are going to represent your strong intuition or psychic ability. It's the same thing. So you get a connection that comes as a feeling, and that's how your higher self connects with you. And that's how you're going to connect with the spirit world and get the information you want to get. I go up the stairs, excellent. On the porch, there is a huge book-like thing sitting on a stand similar to stands musicians use. So this is, again, the intuition is how you're going to channel. And the book, the huge book, is the book of your life or the book of your lives. It's called different things and different by different terminology in different circles, but it's the Akashic records. You might have heard of it by that term. So you're actually, well, we'll continue on. Its pages are made of stone and it takes a lot of effort to open it. I think to myself that the stone pages must be very old because it seems the writing is carved and not printed. I wipe away sand to try read the writing and realize it's not written in English. It's a series of curly dotted lines. Meanwhile, I hear the person telling me to hurry before I forget. And that's the dream. So again, you're waking up, you have a strong intuition, which you're being encouraged to use more because it's so big and the windows are so big in the dream. And you can use it to check your Akashic records. Right now, it may seem like an impossible task. You find it difficult to open the book and you can't even read the writing. But you stick with it and you will get it because you've got your hands on it in the dream. So it's really a good dream, especially it would be nice if you wrote and told me that is indeed what you're trying to do, is access information about your former lives. And of course, they're not written in English because not every life you live is going to be where you're English speaking. So these are really, really old, ancient statues because you say they have the patina on them. So this is going way, way back. So I'll be curious to see why it's coming up in your dreams or what it is going to be about. But good, very good dream. So now I have another dream. I don't know the dreamer's name. We just know her as a listener's mum. And it's called A Change in Plans. I have, apparently, been driving down a major highway, multiple lanes, but at this point there are no other cars. In front of me is a temporary chain link fence spread across all the lanes of the road. I park the car and get out to investigate where I am to drive. I see there is an open road that comes onto the highway at a 90-degree angle. I know this is the way I should go. Okay, so the dream is basically saying to take notice you're going a path on your own. Everyone else, at least in your dream, has stopped going in that direction. And the idea of there being nobody else on the road is to ask you to realize that maybe you shouldn't be going that direction. And the 90-degree turn that you must make says that the new path will be significantly different. So it's not even slightly going in the same direction of the direction you were going on. However, it's not a move backwards, because you're not going backwards in the dream. So you can probably leverage on work you've done before in this new path. And how we know this isn't a health warning or anything like that is the temporary chain link fence is the type that we see in concrete blocks that authorities put in places to temporarily control the flow of traffic or keep access away from things. So the authorities put that there in your dream, your spiritual authorities, which are your guides. So they're asking you to make a change of direction and to take your time, evaluate where you need to turn. But it's going to be different. It's going to be significantly different from what you're doing now. At least I hope it is. It's temporary. They can take this block away. So this is sort of one of those things that if you've said, okay, I wonder what I should be doing, give me some advice, you'll have this sort of dream saying, look, here's what we'd really like you to do, but we're only going to push you in this direction for a little while. If you resist, we'll take away the fence and you can continue on where you are. There's no health warning in the dream. There's nothing saying, here's what will happen if you continue on. But they're saying, look, this is what you should do. So it's the best type of dream to get. The choice is left to you. And I've got a second dream from this person, which gives us a clue. And it's more the theme of this dream. So I've been doing a training and getting ready to leave to go back home. Now, you do that in reality, so we can skip that. The setting is beautiful, right on a huge lake. So here's where it's different. A lake is about an untapped spiritual reservoir that you have. It's a body of water, which represents spirituality, but it doesn't have a flow. So it's saying you need to create a flow in your life for your spirituality. And I know that you're familiar with spiritual things, so I don't have to describe that. But it's just hasn't been part of your life. And the buildings have a very European feel, ornate like Smith Tower. So a tower also tells us the spiritual side or our higher self. Smith Tower is a skyscraper in Seattle. Except much more fancy and old world. Of course it is, because it's there for a lot longer. I come out of the building. I'm looking for Mary. Mary's the name of Jesus' mother, so it shows up in dreams to indicate somebody who has spiritual leadership qualities, even if they're untapped because it's a lake. Lots of people are sitting around tables eating beside the lake. So, okay, this is a social thing. So whatever you're going to do is going to involve people, but it's going to be an everyday type of thing. It's not going to be, you're not going to be working miracles. You're not going to have people walking on water, that sort of thing. It's going to be practical. It's right on the water, really lovely. I sense she is here. I hear her voice, but I don't see her. So this tells us that you can hear your guides or get a feeling about your guides. Next, I'm inside one of the hard towers looking down. I'm talking to someone on the phone, so we know it's communication with your guides. Yeah, that's fine. I stop the conversation to tell the person about a couple I see on the balcony on one of the towers below. So still on a tower. They appear to be in love. Next, I'm leaving, walking away. Okay, so this is where it backs up the lake. So it's all about your spiritual ability and trying to get you to be in love with that spiritual ability, because there's people that are right there that you can see, they're in your line of sight, who are in love. But you walk away from this, or did in the past most likely, and you say the land around is very underdeveloped. So you can, this is an area of yourself, it's showing you haven't developed. This is something that you can develop. Now, this is true for most people. Most people don't develop this side of their nature at all. So it's like if I was to tell 100 people that they're channels, maybe 2 people might actually do something with it. So don't feel you're alone this way. You still learn about yourself. We still achieve your life purpose frequently, even when we don't develop this side of our nature. But you're being shown this is something you can develop. The dream continues on. There are many people living here, many little houses built. The houses are on rolling grass, so it's all through female energy, heart chakra stuff. No roads or sidewalks. I see a beautiful tree with huge yellow leaves. Go to take a photo of it, but my camera phone just won't take the picture. So it's all about you getting the picture of this, and difficulty with getting the picture of how this is something you should be doing. Next, I'm looking at photos of my camera. I'm missing the pictures of the lake. So again, it continues on in that vein, all about the lake and the pictures of the lake being missing. So it's okay. When you review your life, this is the piece that you didn't develop. This is the piece that you can develop now. So this is the direction, most likely, because these dreams are, I think, all on the same night. So the direction you could change and move into is this. Now remember, it's a chain link fence. So when you develop yourself this way, you're probably going to get back into what you already do, which I know is training, which is obviously hugely beneficial for you working with people, especially in the spiritual field. But again, I think what you're going to be working with, it's not, to use a phrase that you would probably use, it's not going to be airy-fairy type woo-woo type stuff. It's going to be practical. It won't feel like it's spirituality in a sense, but it is you expressing yourself, and it is that. And it'll be good for you and everybody that you work with. Okay, so next dream. This is John's dream. He says, Getting in the Dryer is the title of it. I'm at a gas station. I've driven a truck to the gas station and I'm filling it with gas. From the passenger side, the truck looks like a flatbed truck with a clothes dryer attached. From the driver's side, it looks like a smaller tanker truck, like an Omoko truck, a white truck with red and blue stripes. I'm fueling up the tanker side of the truck. I go to take the hose out, and it's like a vacuum hose, and I hear the sound of air releasing. It has a T-valve at one end blocked or capped. I'm surprised it's not gas I'm putting in the tank. I'm not sure if air was going in or coming out through the hose. Okay, so one tip is trucks have to do a career, because that's why we have trucks. That's what they're used for in reality. They're very much a business function. So this is going to be a comment on your business. And we see it's split. On one side, it's a flatbed with a dryer, and on the other side, it's a tanker. So the last little bit of the dream, which tells us why the title is what it is. While the truck is filling, I'm envisioning myself getting in the dryer. Yes. In the dream, I know I'm going to be doing this, and it doesn't seem strange. I visualize myself rolling around in the dryer, and it seems fine. After I take the tube off, then I start preparing to get in the dryer. Again, I see myself rolling around in the dryer, but this time I think, I can't do this. I think I'm going to get sick or hurt myself. I would have to brace myself every time I went upside down, and my arms would get too tired to hold me up. For some reason, I'm supposed to get in the dryer. That was the plan the whole time in my mind, but now I don't want to. Okay, it's a very, like every other dream, it seems kind of crazy on the surface, but the meaning is very, very straightforward. It's a comment on your career and where you're going with it right now. It's also a comment on how you feel. So if we were to title, instead of saying dryer, which is a new device, if we were to say getting in the wringer, and a wringer extracts water from clothes, it's really about you, how you feel right now that you're in the wringer. But of course you want to get into this dryer, so it's not all as bad as that. You want to get into this dryer. What are dryers used for? They're used when we get clothes out of a dryer. They're lovely and fresh and ready for us to put on. They've no stains. They're nice and warm and comfortable. They're the best clothes you can get, the ones straight out of the dryer. So this is about you hitting the reset switch on your career. probably are more than your career. So you'd like to reset everything and go back to the start and come at it fresh, just like the fresh clothes, a whole fresh new attitude as you approach this going forward. The T, blocked T, is saying that when it comes to your career, you wish you had more choice than you currently have. I mean, you feel like you should have a choice, but one end of it is blocked. You say it's a blocked T. And a T junction, or T's in dreams, are signify choices. Our road ends, or at least our road goes to somewhere where we can go left or right, and we have a choice then which way we want to go. A Y junction in a dream is a similar thing, but it's not as significant a change in direction. We just have to veer off course a little. But here, this would be, I want something completely different. So I want to hit the reset switch and start fresh. But now that you get closer to doing it, you're not so sure. You think there could be pain involved in doing it, and that's correct. You're a healer because of the tanker. That's the career you work in. And probably that's what I don't know if that's what you're conflicted over, but certainly that career is going to be affected. But it's very important for you to go through this phase. We don't know why it's there in the dream, unfortunately, because now we're all eager to know. But it's in the dream. It's not something you should avoid doing. I mean, it is something you need to go through the phase. Whether you get in the dryer or not is another thing. But you need to go through this phase, and you're going to come out of it much clearer. So it's a good thing. I don't know why it's a good thing. We will know when you finally do what you need to do, and maybe you will write and let us know. Okay, I'm looking at the time, and I'm going to skip one dream, and I'm going to go to another one. It's called Cindy Crawford and Bell Rock. And the dreamer says, I was with a group of people, and we were in a room deciding which one of us would take which historical figure to learn about. They started rattling off presidents, James Polk, FDR, and then they said, Jamie, you can get Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford. But then I warmed to the idea and looked forward to researching her. I did think it's strange I would get Cindy Crawford and everyone else got presidents. There was an audience of people on the other side of a large pane of glass. I thought they were facing away from us, but they were actually facing us, and it made me slightly self-conscious. They were there for a memorial service of types, maybe military in nature. Then it was time to leave, and as we left, I looked out a window and saw we were in Sedona and Bell Rock. And I saw we were in Sedona, and Bell Rock was just a ways down the road. I told everyone I was going to walk there and not take a car, and that everyone should go with me. This is absolutely a fantastic dream. And I've seen many of your dreams. This is one of the best. So Cindy Crawford is, at one point, was the highest paid model in the world. So you picked a good one. She also worked in TV and film and as a spokesperson for companies. So we know communication is going to be your thing. We know you have a strong intuition, very strong intuition. That's how you're going to get your connection because of the large pane of glass in the dream. And you're going to be speaking to large groups. And using your intuition while you're doing it because the audience is on the other side of the glass. So what's interesting about her, you said you wondered why you didn't get a president, but very interestingly, in 1995, she was featured on the inaugural cover of the magazine called George, which was a magazine by John F. Kennedy Jr., I think. And the tagline for that magazine was a new political magazine, was not just politics as usual. Yeah, I messed that up. That was their tagline, not just politics as usual. So you're going to be using your intuition and your spiritual leadership abilities. So you didn't not get a president. You got a president because you got somebody who was on the cover of a magazine dressed as George Washington. And so that's what you're going to do. You're a spiritual leader, and you're telling everybody that they are to follow you in this dream. That's why I really like this dream. And Sedona is known for its strong spiritual energy, and Bell Rock too. But you're telling people you're not going to take the car, so you're getting off the karmic path, and you're going to go this path. So it's been a long time coming for you, and I know it's been bothering you that it's been a long time coming. But you're telling everybody they should go with you on this journey, and that's really good. The very first dream I ever saw of yours, you were a tour guide, so you're a guide in reality. You've known that for some time, and you're waiting for when you're going to start doing what you need to do. So I hope I did that dream justice. Let's skip another one again, looking at the time again. Okay. This person says, last night I had dinner with some people I didn't know and I met a nice woman who was a mother herself. I've been very anxious to decide if I'm having a natural birth or a C-section, even though I know the opposite of what I choose may occur. I'm supposed to plan on one. I wanted to ask the woman about her birthing last night, but felt it wouldn't have been polite. So that's comment on the dream. And then we have the dream, which I can barely do because not every dream I get is one that you can cover on the air. So the very start of this dream, and I can't even say the title, she says, this morning I had a short dream of her sitting with a top and no undergarments on the back of a white delivery type truck with a metal roll top back door that was rolled up. And there we have to stop it. So the dream is saying definitely go for natural birth because we have a delivery truck. We know it's about your delivery. We know she's involved and she's a new mom. So it's all about that. You're going to be a new mom. This is your first child. And the roll top, the back rolled up is saying that this is the way, use the normal methods for delivery. And I was born by cesarean section myself, and I can tell you in dreams about cesarean section, quite often what you see is a regular door, but somebody exits the carriage, if it's a train carriage or a bus, by going through some side door that just appears momentarily and then you leave. So it answers your question, but that highlights how dreams give direct answers to your question. So I wanted to include it, even though I can only do a little bit. So real fast. A star Seahawks player is gay, and I have to cut out the name of the player. So in my dream, there are lots of people gathering together. We're at a social function that I have helped to organise. I'm there with my partner, and it seems like some of my work colleagues are there too. Everyone is excited because a Seattle Seahawks star player is there, and he's offering free copies of his new book to everyone in attendance. I don't know or see the title of the book, but I can see that the cover is bright green, yellow and orange. He's very excited to be sharing his book with everybody. I'm talking to him and he offers me a copy, but I tell him that I already have one. Then he introduces me to the man he's with and he tells me it is his partner. Immediately I understand that he is gay, but I don't think he is in reality. In the dream, I'm secretly happy about this because I know it will shock some people and I think the people it will shock need to be shocked. A short while later, my partner comes over to me and asks me who the man is, and I share what I know. My partner is visibly upset by this news, but when the star player comes over, he hides it and remains polite and personable and takes a copy of the book. So, okay, the analysis and skipping some of it. The fact that the star player is black points to your father issues and fears about playing the game of life, which is football, that come from him. At the same time, the dream shows you overcoming these fears because the player comes out, which is pretty much him symbolically saying, I'm not afraid to be intimate with my male side in public. And so that's what you're being asked to do. Male side has to do with confidence, belief in yourself, career, and feeling worthy of the space you occupy. It uses your bisexuality as a backdrop for the feelings, and your partner's not happy with this, so it means you're still not completely happy with this new male energy intimacy yourself. And I'm going to have to cut it there because we've run out of time, but I'll put this one up on the website. But that's it for this week. Thanks very much. See you next week.